Breaking news: Oregon skies loomed gray over the Roloff family farm. A gentle drizzle painted the windows of Amy Roloff's charming countryside home. Inside, the smell of freshly brewed coffee lingered in the air, but the atmosphere was far from cozy. Amy sat at the kitchen table, hands wrapped around a ceramic mug, her eyes glazed with worry. Chris Merrick, her husband of just a few years, had been distant lately, more business trips, late nights, and vague answers. She chalked it up to stress, but in her heart, something felt wrong. The man she once trusted wholeheartedly was slowly becoming a stranger. Hello viewers, welcome back to my channel. For Roloff family latest news update, please subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon. They had gone through a lot together, blending families, public scrutiny, reality TV fame, and the shadow of Amy's past with Matt. But nothing could have prepared her for the heartbreak that was about to unfold. The rumors begin. TLC's filming had wrapped a few months earlier. The cameras were gone, but the Roloffs were still very much in the public eye. Online forums buzzed with speculation. Why hasn't Chris appeared in Amy's recent Instagram posts? Why was Amy seen without her wedding ring at the Hillsborough Farmers Market? Jeremy and Zach had both visited the farm recently, and both sensed the tension. Mom okay? Zach had asked Tori that night. Something felt off. I think so, Tori replied cautiously. But Chris didn't even say hi when we pulled in. Then came the paparazzi photo, Chris in downtown Portland, laughing over wine with a woman no one recognized. She was tall, blonde, and noticeably younger. Her hand rested gently on Chris's shoulder. Chris Merrick spotted with mystery woman. Where is Amy Roloff? LPBW stars marriage in trouble? Amy refused to believe it. Chris would never. A painful discovery. It was a Wednesday morning when the truth became unavoidable. Amy had just finished organizing old TLC memorabilia for a charity auction when her phone buzzed. It was Lisa, her longtime best friend. Amy, I'm so sorry. You need to see this. She clicked the link. A gossip blog had posted photos, clear as daylight. Chris and the blonde woman were standing in front of a courthouse in Seattle, dressed formally, holding hands. The caption read, "Breaking, Chris Merrick secretly marries longtime girlfriend in private ceremony." Amy's breath left her body. She scrolled down. There it was, a marriage license. Dated last Friday. Chris Merrick, Rebecca Langston. The walls seemed to close in. Amy sat down slowly, heart pounding. She blinked back tears as she whispered, "He's gone and he didn't even tell me." Flashbacks and regrets. The days blurred together. Amy barely ate. Friends and family called, but she couldn't bring herself to talk. She remembered the day Chris proposed. On the deck, under twinkling lights, his voice shaking with nervous joy. How he had held her hand at her mother's funeral. How he had promised, "I'm in this forever." Forever, Amy muttered. What does that even mean? She began to retrace their final months together. There were signs she had ignored. The late-night texts he brushed off, the business trips to Seattle, the coldness in his touch. She'd been so busy planning fundraisers and spending time with her grandkids, perhaps she had missed what was right in front of her. The confrontation. Chris showed up at the farm 3 days later. Amy was sitting on the porch, arms crossed. She didn't offer a smile. "I guess congratulations are in order," she said, voice flat. Chris looked broken. "Amy, I didn't plan for this to happen like this." She laughed bitterly. "You planned it exactly like this. Secretly. I didn't want to hurt you, but you did." Amy stood up, her voice rising. "You married someone else while still wearing the ring I gave you." Chris lowered his eyes. "I met Rebecca over a year ago," he admitted. "It started as friendship. I didn't mean to fall for her, Amy. But over time, things changed. And so did we." Amy's hands shook. "So, I was just a stepping stone? A midlife project?" "No. You were real. I loved you. But we weren't connecting anymore. And instead of telling me that, you ran off and married someone else?" Silence. Then Amy said, "Get off my porch." And he did. Family reactions. News of the separation and secret marriage rocked the Roloff family. Matt, oddly sympathetic, called Amy. For what it's worth,
I'm sorry.
I know how it feels to be blindsided. Jeremy texted her, "You're the strongest woman I know." Tori and Zach offered to bring the kids over, hoping to lift her spirits. "You still have us," Tori reminded her gently. But the pain lingered. TLC producers reached out, sensing drama. They wanted Amy to go on camera.
She refused.
"This isn't for show," she said. "This is my real life." Chris's sighed. A few weeks later, Chris gave an interview, his attempt at redemption. "I never meant to hurt Amy," he said. "But I wasn't happy. And Rebecca, she made me feel alive again. I know I should have ended things with Amy first. That's on me." He said he regretted the timing, not the love. "She'll always be a part of my life. But Rebecca and I were starting fresh." Fans were divided. Some slammed Chris for being a cheater. Others blamed Amy for being too consumed with her past and the farm. But Amy didn't read the comments. She was focused on something else now, healing, reclaiming herself. Amy began writing again. Essays, memoir chapters, even poetry. She returned to the kitchen, filming a new online cooking series called Heart and Home with Amy. She joined a women's hiking group,
Started therapy.
spent weekends with her grandkids, and laughed more than she had in months. One day, as she was walking through the old pumpkin patch, a breeze hit her face, and she smiled. Chris was a chapter, not the whole book. The new woman, Rebecca Langston. Rebecca Langston had been a real estate agent in Seattle, divorced, with no kids. She met Chris at a property auction. They bonded over shared tastes in wine and architecture. When their relationship began, Chris had said he was unhappy but married. Rebecca didn't ask many questions. But after the secret wedding, she started to face public backlash. People sent hate mail. Bloggers tore her apart. Homewrecker. Gold digger. Chris defended her, but the damage was done. They moved to a lakefront cabin in Washington, trying to escape the chaos. But the shadow of Amy remained. Final closure. Months passed. Amy released a new book titled Picking Up Pieces. It became a bestseller. Chris never reached out again. Amy never forgave him, but she also stopped resenting him. One fall evening, as the leaves turned amber and gold, Amy stood beside the big oak on the farm, the same one where she used to sit with Chris. She whispered, "Thank you for the good and the bad." Then she walked away, stronger. Moving on. Amy Roloff sold part of the farm and bought a vacation cottage near the coast. She's dating again casually. She says, "I'm not looking for perfect, just honest." Chris Merrick and Rebecca Langston quietly stepped away from the spotlight. Some say their marriage is already strained. Others say they're expecting a child. The TLC network tried to revive the drama with a spin-off, but Amy declined.